It is 9:01, so I'm going to call this meeting to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Chaplin, Desart.
Here.
Ozog.
Here.
Carnatori.
Here.
Day.
Here.
Okay. Again, I want to make special thanks to all our great staff keeping us going during this Arctic event, especially anyone who's working outside. And I hope I don't have to thank anybody next week because this has really gone on for too long, but I'm very grateful for all the work that everybody is doing. So thank you. Moving on, do we have any public comment, Angie?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. And next, I'd like to move for the approval of the minutes from the meeting of February 2nd, 2021.
So moved, Desart.
Okay.
Second, Zay.
Okay. Any comments, discussion about the minutes? Okay, hearing none. Angie, could we have a roll call to approve the minutes, please?
Desart.
Aye.
Ozog.
Aye.
Carnatori.
Aye.
Day.
Aye.
Okay, number 6, budget transfers. Move to approve budget transfers, Public Works, fiscal year 2020, $152,929. Transfers needed for SCADA, building improvements, IT equipment, PPE, operating supplies and maintenance reimbursed by the CRF fund, and chemical supplies.
So moved, Desart.
Second, Zay.
Any discussion about this? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, please.
Desart.
Aye.
Ozog.
Aye.
Carnatori.
Aye.
Day.
Aye.
Okay, next up, payment. I move to approve payment of claims, Public Works, and Facilities Management.
So moved.
Second, Zay.
Any discussion on this item? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, please.
Carnatori.
Aye.
Day.
Aye.
Desart.
Aye.
Ozog.
Aye. Okay, next I'd like to move for the recommendation of approval of a contract to Harris Equipment Corporation to furnish and deliver one ELGI EG 3750 horsepower premium rotary screw air compressor for the power plant for facilities management for a total contract amount not to exceed $22,737.50 per low quote. 3 quotes were received.
So moved, Desart.
Second, Zay.
Okay, any discussion on this item?
I did, Madam Chair.
Members A.
Yeah, just did we get a trade-in? What happened to the old compressor? Did we get any trade-in from Harris?
No, it was a failure.
Okay. No repairing it? So.
No, we patched it as much as we could.
Okay. I have the same compressor here at work. That's why I asked. So it's a good compressor you guys bought.
The new one or the one that was patched?
The new one.
Okay. And
from the same company. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Do you have any patches on yours, Members A?
No.
You're good.
Working
okay.
great.
All right. Any other discussion on this item? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, please, Angie.
Desart.
Aye.
Ozog.
Aye.
Carnatori.
Aye.
Day.
Aye.
Okay, next up, approval of a bid award, FMP 003621, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Royal Pipe and Supply Company to furnish and deliver plumbing supplies by the specified manufacturers at discounted rates as needed for county facilities for the period February 24, 2021 through February 23, 2022 for a total contract amount not to exceed $148,007.50 per lowest responsible bid, hashtag 20-133-FM. Sorry, can we have a motion,
Second.
please?
Okay.
Okay. Any discussion on this item? Okay. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Carnatori.
Aye.
Day.
Aye.
Chaplin.
Aye.
Desart.
Aye.
Ozog.
Aye. Okay, number 10, we have 2 bid renewals. 2021-16 recommendation for I move to approve 2021-16 recommendation for the approval of a contract to Global Water Technology to furnish and deliver water treatment chemicals as needed for campus facilities for facilities management for the period February 17th, 2021 through February 12th, 2022 for a contract total amount not to exceed $25,000 per renewal option under bid award hashtag 18-18GV, a final option to renew.
Second, Desart.
Okay. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Ozark,
Yes.
Sartori,
Aye.
Day,
Aye.
Heflin,
Aye.
Dart,
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Second bid renewal, 2021-17, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Chimera Water Solutions Incorporated to provide, furnish, and deliver liquid ferric chloride to the Knollwood Wastewater Treatment Facility for Public Works for the period April 1st, 2021 through March 31st, 2022 for a contract total amount not to exceed $17,700 per renewal option under bid award hashtag 19030 PW, second of 3 possible renewals.
Second, Desart.
And any discussion about this renewal? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Ozark,
Yes.
Sartori,
Aye.
Day,
Aye.
Heflin,
Aye.
Dart,
Aye.
Okay, I'd like to now move to approve, or excuse me, put on record informational items, A, Public Works and Facilities Management Strategic Initiatives, and B, Public Works and Facilities Management Capital Projects.
So moved, Chaplin.
Second, Desart.
Okay, and Nick, any comments about these items?
Yeah, so what you have in front of you, and they were included in the packet, are the 2021 strategic initiatives for both Public Works and Facilities Management, as well as, if you recall, the county puts out a capital improvement project book every year, and these are the projects within Facilities and Public Works as well. Your strategic initiatives for 2021 are basically the 2020s. We've updated, we've revised them to account for where we're at. I think this committee has seen the 2021s before. We can go much more in depth if you would like. Otherwise, like I said, these are the ones that we've seen, we updated, and they will be given to county board to include in the overall strategic initiatives for the county once approved by the committee. That would be strategic initiatives. From the capital project standpoint, we definitely took a lot of these you've seen before. There are some new ones on facilities just to basically meet the needs of the department. These are actually pretty critical this year because there might be an opportunity, depending on the CARES Act funding that come out. We might be drawing from these for potential projects, most notably, and we've said it for several years now, the biggest need in facilities are the parking decks for to make sure we rehabilitate the parking decks. So I have a feeling these will definitely come into play as we move forward, depending on how the federal program plays out in Washington with the CARES Act. So these were definitely vetted with our team to figure out what are the priorities for the department. And I will say there are other smaller projects that are also important, but we did not put those in here. These are more the bigger scale projects, and we have been successful in getting federal or state funding on that capital book, and that this is just an extension of that.
Okay. So can I have a motion to receive and place on file these informational items A and B?
So moved. Second, Chaplin.
Okay. And any further discussion about this? And I'm sorry, go ahead, Member Desart.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that, some of these capital projects are projects that to replace items that have outlived their usefulness. And boy, I'll tell you, we as a county have really used these items. I noticed, for example, JLB, the HVAC system, is 40 years old, and we're looking for $6 million to replace that system. A 40-year-old system, we really got the use out of that system. So good on DuPage County for using our resources wisely.
Until the last possible moment, right, Nick? Really appreciate those efforts.
Yeah, no, our staff does a great job of keeping things running.
Reuse and repurpose, right? Any other discussion about these matters? Okay, hearing none, we're moving to receive and place on file. Can I have a roll call, please?
Conatory.
Aye.
Day.
Aye.
Kaplan.
Aye.
Sark.
Aye.
Ozark.
Aye. Okay, next up, we have a discussion of the Heritage Gallery. And
All right, so I will take
this
that
over to Member Dessart.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So for those of you who may not have been on this committee last time we presented back in November, Becky Simon from the League of Women Voters came to me over a year ago in the fall of 2019, and she asked me if I too was offended that the DuPage County Heritage Gallery showcased all white men and only one white woman. And I asked her, what's the DuPage County Heritage Gallery? Because I seriously had no idea. The gallery is located on the first floor of the 421 building in the center hallway between the Election Commission and the clerk's office. And since Becky asked me that question, I've been working with Becky, other members of other various League of Women Voter organizations, and with the DuPage County NAACP to create a more diverse and inclusive gallery to showcase remarkable citizens of DuPage County. Things I've learned: the gallery was built in 1980 and hasn't changed much, nor has it been updated since around 1991. 30 years, it hasn't changed at all. There's a lack of brightness and color in the displays. It's not a visually engaging exhibit, and the font used on the signs is dated and hard to read. It's basically been stagnant for 30 years. The gallery was created by a group of private citizens and donated to DuPage County, though most of those citizens are now out of the picture or have died. In order to fund a new, more diverse and inclusive gallery, we don't want DuPage County citizens to have to pay a dime. So our little focus group thought that by selling all or parts of the existing exhibit, we could fund the new exhibit. Some of the items in the exhibit that we could sell are, well, we could sell all the items actually if we wanted to, but we've got Cheryl Mills was an opera star. We've got his costume tunic and costume boots on display in that exhibit. We've got some chimes and a microphone from the Mitchell exhibit. And of course, for the Red Grange exhibit, we've got cleats, a helmet, uniform, a scrapbook, and a football. And the Billy Graham exhibit includes a Bible in which he has made notes. So these are some of the things that we're hoping that we could sell to rejuvenate the exhibit. Our request is that we work with DuPage County and the DuPage County Historical Societies and museums such as Neighbor Settlement, replace members of the gallery to reflect the diverse history and population of DuPage County. A couple of people we're thinking about adding is Ellen Martin, the first woman to vote in the state of Illinois. She's also part of the LGBTQ community and a leader to be selected of the Underground Railroad in DuPage County. The project has support from myself, the Naperville League of Women Voters, the DuPage County NAACP, and other leagues around DuPage County. So that is my presentation. I have deep dived into this DuPage Heritage Gallery for over a year now. Any questions from the committee about what we'd like to do with this gallery?
I think I'm frozen.
Okay, one thing I will say is that we're working with the Hindman, a very well thought of auction house in Chicago, the Hindman auction house, to have them actually come and take away some of the items temporarily so we can get them appraised, because we don't know if this exhibit is worth $200 or $2 million. We just have no idea. So maybe Tim Harbaugh can speak to that and how that's going. I know there was some issues with the insurance documents that Hindman provided. Members A, you have a question?
I do remember to start, and I applaud you for your passion on this. The only issue I have, these were donated to the county and then we're going to turn around and sell them. I mean, that's the only thing that I'm kind of hesitant about. I mean, some of this we could start a display at the Historical Museum in Wheaton. The Billy Graham item, we could talk to Wheaton College. I mean, obviously, he founded that. So that's my only point, is that I just feel weird that private citizens donated these items and artifacts, and then we're going to turn around and sell them. That's, I just hope we could maybe do a fundraising event and maybe raise the money for it that way without having to sell these items.
Member Ozog, or Chairwoman Ozog, can I answer that question?
Please go ahead.
Yeah, so right now where we're at, this initiative by Member Dessart actually brought to our attention that we have no idea what these things are worth right now. And from our standpoint, and we agree with you, I mean, that's a decision the board has to make. Do you want to sell them or do you not? And that's down the line. But from a staff's perspective, we started getting a little bit nervous when they were starting to throw around numbers for these artifacts. And we do think it might be worthwhile to get them appraised right now to figure out, do we need to protect them more than we're protecting them currently? So for the next step in the process here, we would recommend that it's a free appraisal by the company. There's no obligation to go out and sell it, but at least we know, do we need to protect it more? I mean, from theft, from the sitting in direct sunlight, and we would like to know kind of what they're worth, because I mean, it's one thing if we're talking 8,000, but if we're talking 800,000 for this stuff, we need to know what the value is.
I have a question, Mary.
Yes, please go ahead.
So there's no question that the county owns all of this property?
The county owns it. There was an agreement that was entered with the Heritage Gallery that the county board dissolved in November. Within the dissolving it, you do not have the ability to resell this at this time. That agreement would need to be amended again to allow to resell, but you do own the art.
Wait a second. So you said we own it, but we can't resell it?
Correct.
So we can't auction it.
You would have to amend the agreement to do that.
Correct. But currently under the agreement, you can't auction. That's my point.
Correct.
All right. So you have to get the people who made this donations to agree to have us sell these things. And I'm going to tell you something.
If I can answer to that, Mr. Harbaugh said that the families who owned it and the people who have died off and their children are now the ones signing off on it. And they have pretty much washed their hands of this whole exhibit. So it would not be a tough sell to get them to amend this to allow us to sell.
Unless it's worth $500,000. Suddenly, I think the children are going to maybe not be as inclined to do it. I can tell you, as somebody who used to represent a sports hall of fame, that when artifacts are donated, they're generally not donated so that the holder of that museum or whatever can go ahead and sell them later on to use for any purpose. They're donated for a specific purpose. And unless it's very clear that the owners of this property, the donors, if you will, have allowed to do that or allow us to do it, I think we're looking at some possible issues in addition to the optics of DuPage County selling. By the way, I think it's a good idea, Don, but I think the optics of DuPage County selling something like Billy Graham's Bible or Red Grange's cleats, I mean, they're two iconic names in Wheaton that may not be everything about DuPage County, but are pretty significant to a lot of people. For us to sell them, I think just the optics are bad, but I'm more concerned about the legal issues. And if we have to amend the agreement, then currently, as we're sitting here, we can't sell them. I mean, it is what it is. You can't assume that the heirs are going to agree to it, particularly if we find out that these artifacts are worth a considerable amount of money. My experience with heirs are that once they realize there's money on the table, there may be a different story unless they've got more money I'd be
And
very careful
I'll
when we yell
disagree.
at them.
Member Tornatore, my comment would be, we would have to agree to disagree, because I think the optics of selling an old exhibit that's been sitting stagnant for 40 years to fund a new exhibit, I think the optics make us seem fiscally responsible. And also, if we find out that these items are worth $800,000, the family still can't get them back. They are DuPage County's items.
No, that's not true. I just heard that the agreement says that you can't sell them. That's what Tim just said. So somebody
Can clarify, because I think that they are our items now that the family has signed up on them.
So as I understand it right now, they're in the middle ground vote. No one can sell them. We sit right now, we own them, they're ours, and unless if we modify, the owners of the original agreement can't sell them and we can't sell them. So there needs to be something. We can keep them in perpetuity and not display them, but we would have to enter an agreement to sell, and the original donors could not take them back to sell them either, because we do own them. Is that correct, Tim?
If I can punt it to Tony, Tony drafted the amendment in November. Did you hear that, Tony?
No, I missed the last part. Say it again.
Does we own the artifact? We do not have the ability to sell them per the agreement, but neither would the Heritage Gallery. They do not have the ability to reclaim these and take them back. Is that correct?
Well, listen, the only thing I've been asked to take a look at so far has been an agreement to send them out to get an appraisal for it. And I think getting an appraisal for it is a prudent course of action, given that no one knows what these things, what their value is. If anything, we should be establishing their value for insurance purposes should anything happen to them. If and when it comes time to sell the item, there's a little bit more research that needs to be done on. For example, I haven't seen the original agreement with the Heritage for the Heritage Gallery pertaining to the original donations, and that's something that we would want to take a look at before we recommend anything regarding selling before selling anything.
It sounds like we need a clarification on the original agreement. And Tony might need to have a look at that first.
At this time, our staff's recommendation would be to move forward with the appraisal, because right now those items are degrading in the direct sunlight.
So anyway, let's do that.
So as we see it, there's really no downside and a lot of upside of appraising. Okay. The decision to sell or not sell, we will research while they're being appraised, and hopefully when we get the appraisal back, we'll be able to report back to this committee. This is the legality of everything, and then this committee and ultimately the board will have to then decide the course of action that you would like to take regarding the Heritage Gallery. But from our standpoint, like I said, if Red Grange's football is worth $500,000, I want to know about that, because then at the very least, whether we sell or not, I'm going to modify how we display that down there to protect it. I totally agree.
So in the interim, Nick, could you get the original agreement with the Heritage Center to Tony and start doing some review?
We will go simultaneously with the with the analysis of what we can or can't do. But it is my understanding, and Tim and I have looked at it in some depth. Right now, it sits in limbo in the middle. No one can sell them. We own them, and no one can sell them until there is an amendment to an agreement. I think Member DeStart is absolutely correct that we would have to go back to the original donors to get that. And the question would be, what will that lift be? I don't know. We have not made that comment or that reach out to them until we figure out where we want to go.
Member Chaplin.
Thanks so much. So just for a little historic background. So these items were donated to the county. Is that what I'm correct? Is that correct? They were donated to the county?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, so the Heritage Gallery was set up 30 some years ago, where the group that put it together funded the entire endeavor. Our only obligation was we gave them a home for it, which is in our atrium in there where the buildings are open. So They paid for all that. They raised the money and they put it in place, and they went out and they actually secured the exhibits. The original person who was in charge of it, he passed away, and his son kind of took it over. And theoretically, through all this, they were supposed to take care and update the exhibit, the Heritage Gallery. It really hasn't been updated. But then again, it was built very, very well 30 years ago, and it hasn't needed a lot. We've kept it clean, things like that. So, you know, we've started looking at, and we've known that it has been dated for some time. And to that end, Tim has been working with the group that originally formed it up for several years. Tim and Cheryl have been trying to get things lined out. And finally, last year, they did get an agreement lined out that basically dissolved that group that formed it and donated the items to the county. So we now have, we own them. It is ours. That group is dissolved. But there is a requirement in that agreement from last year that says we can't sell them. We must retain them. And that's where we stand right now.
Okay. Okay.
In light of anything else happening, any other amendments, that's where we stand, but we have no idea what our artifacts are worth or if they're worth anything. This whole discussion might be nothing if we come back and the artifacts say they're worth all in $1,000, $2,000, then we have to discuss.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I kind of tend to agree with Member Zay on this a little bit. I don't want to give our history, because this is history of DuPage County, whether it's old history or new history or whatever, but maybe finding a home for it in the DuPage Historical Museum might be, you know, a little more, I don't know what the word is to describe it, but a little, you know, selling it off just, I don't know, doesn't kind of sit well. It just seems somebody donated something to us and then we're going to sell it. I think we should maybe donate it and maybe look for ways to raise funds for the new gallery. I don't know. But it's something to discuss, you know, later down the line maybe. But yeah, it's kind of a unique situation. Let's put it that way. And I guess once we see how much it's worth, maybe we'll know from there. So, thank you.
Member Ozark,
Member Zay. Sorry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I mean, I agree it needs to be updated. I applaud Member Dessart. I think it's a great thing. I think we just need to move forward and get them appraised. Are they still in the exhibit sitting out there?
Yes, they are.
That kind of scares me now that we've been talking about this, maybe putting price tags of $500,000 or whatever on. I would think we would move quickly to remove those items and secure them since they're sitting there. I mean, I just don't want us having this talk and next thing you know, the press writes an article about it and, you know, somebody comes and smashes the case or takes something and we don't know about it, you know.
At this point, we know no values at all. So
I will tell you
that's the story right now.
Tim and Tony have, and Member Dessart actually brought Henneman to us, and they're a great company, big company that do this all the time. They're going to praise it for free. We have an agreement that Tony and Tim have worked out. And if that's the will of this committee, we will likely sign that. And then hopefully this week at some point, they're picking up our artifacts and they take them down to their Chicago office and they'll have them for several weeks or a month to appraise them, check out the provenance on everything, and we'll have a real idea of what we have.
Nick, do we need to make a motion for the committee to approve the removal of the items for review by Hinman?
Consent, we just need consent.
No.
That's it, because I think I have the authority to sign that because it's a no dollar, but we didn't do that unless if there's a general consensus of this committee.
Okay.
Mary,
I'm sorry, Member Dessart.
Oh, I yield to Member Tornatore, who had his hand up first.
Oh, sorry. Can't see you too, Tim.
I think it's a great idea to update it. I'm concerned again from the legal perspective because I've been down this road before with things that have been donated to halls of fame and otherwise. I just want to make sure we're allowed to do what we're going to do. The second part of it, obviously, let's get it appraised. Let's secure them. Thirdly, I think we need to maybe discuss, even if we can sell these items, whether we want to do it. I think updating the gallery is terribly important. I wanted to add something a year or two ago, and I asked Nick about Billy Williams, who was a Hall of Fame baseball player. My favorite team, the Chicago Cubs, he lives in Wheaton, and we couldn't do it because of the agreement. So, Dawn, please include him.
Billy Williams, got it.
Yes, write that down.
Billy
Williams. But the point is that, you know, perhaps in a perfect world, we could keep some of the old and some of the new. And that might show as much diversity in where we've come as getting rid of all of the new and just bringing in all the old and bringing in the new. So I'm totally on board with it. I think it's a great idea. I think both, all the things that you've suggested make a great deal of sense. But I'm just concerned about whether we can do this or not. We don't want to step on anybody's toes and have egg on our face because we did something we can't do, or we did something that makes us look like it's a money grab of some kind, and we don't want to do that because that's not your intention, obviously.
So we'll move forward with Hinman. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nick. Did you have something else to add?
No, I have nothing. I think Member Dessart. Okay.
Go ahead, Member Dessart.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to close this part of the conversation on this project just to say I have been working for over a year with Nick Kottmeyer, Tim Harbaugh, Tony Heyman, and Cheryl Marquet, and just thank you to our staff for doing amazing work on this with me for over a year. So thank you, staff.
And we'll bring this back after we've had Hinman evaluate several of the items. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Then moving forward with our meeting, any old business?
No old business.
No old business, okay. Any new business?
None.
Okay. And I would like a move to adjourn.
So move, Dessart.
Second.
Member Torres.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please, Angie.
Dessart.
Aye.
Bozak.
Aye.
Tornatore.
Aye.
Day.
Aye.
Kaplan.
She was on.
No.
We had another meeting. Okay.
Good say. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much, and stay warm, and hopefully not for too much longer. Thank you. Bye-bye.